So let's take a look at this, because this is one of the main pillars of the secular, progressive, non-religious side that is taught in universities. This is it right here. And we don't talk about this very much. Physicalism is, you can call it materialism, you can call it Molinism. It's literally saying the only thing that exists is physical properties. Nothing immaterial exists. Everything is physical. Okay? So this idea of you having a mind is a false idea. You just don't know any better. Your mind and your brain are the same thing, or it's part of your body, so you're not able to actually think outside your physical body. It's just like your brain and your body. Eventually, because what they're telling you here, this is literally, I'm pulling this off university websites. Look at the little clue here. Eventually, they'll be able to explain it. What they're telling you is they can't explain it, so it's not science, it's philosophy. Right? It's not like gravity. They're saying, eventually we'll get there, but everybody knows. That's the way they're approaching it. In Christianity, we can fall in the same trap by not sticking to biblical truth and say, well, this is what the story really means in the Bible, and everybody knows that, right? We got to be really careful. This is why we have things called doctrine, right? So what's dangerous here, here's what they said. There's tons of evidence for this. Everybody knows it. Atomic theory, computer technology, evolution, neuroscience, all of them have elevated physicalism to the dominant academic doctrine at universities on the mind-body argument. So they're telling you, we've got so much evidence on this that for you to think you're a mind and your mind operates independently from your body, it's really kind of archaic, and they'll tell you this, it's religious, it's Christianese. You know, we got to get you away from that to real science. So far, so good?
Well, that's not true. I mean,
well, let me keep going. Let me keep going because we want to look at why it's not true. Right. All right, so let's look at the evidence. Let's just talk this through. Now, dualism is the opposite. Dualism is also a philosophy. Dualism says that the mental phenomena you have are non-physical. Your mind and body are distinct and separable. You can separate the two. It started with René Descartes. He actually was first. Now, if you think back to Plato and Aristotle, absolutely, they talked in terms of soul, but Descartes came in with that. Anybody ever hear that thing, I think, therefore I am? All right, so what he's literally saying is that I have a conscience, and I'm actually self-aware of things going on that have nothing to do with my body. And therefore, I can tell the difference between my mind and my brain. If you watch one of my debates online on my website, it's at Longview Community College, and I'm in a debate with an atheist who thinks he doesn't have a mind. We're literally having a conversation.
Well, he's right. He's right. So.
Right? Right? Now, we laugh and everything, right? But the reason he thinks that way is because he's taught at Longview that way. This is school academics. We pay for this.
we sure do.
Right, but we don't do anything about it, right? Except complain. So Descartes, when you think of the deductive argument, all beings that think exist. Is that true?
All beings that think exist? No.
Really? Give me an example of something that thinks that doesn't exist.
Oh, I see.
If you think, do you exist?
Yes.
But there's things that exist that don't think.
But that's not what it says. Gosh, this is a tough class.
I'm sorry.
Think.
I was just like,
Think is not neurons firing in your brain when you touch a hot oven or something. That's not thinking. That's a reaction you have to a stimulus. Think is self-awareness or something that happens inside, whether we call it introspection, where you're actually thinking through things. Your brain is not acting. This is something that's happening that's causing you, like you're doing right now. You're reading that line, and people are getting different opinions. You're having different opinions. Thinking has to do usually with information, knowledge, Knowledge, I think we'd all agree, is not material. Right? We can't hold knowledge in our hands. This is something that we process. So the first premise says, if you think, you exist. Descartes then, premise 2, I think. What's the conclusion? Okay. So this is the whole idea. It's really that simple, of this idea of dualism, where I'm physical and I'm material. I mean, I'm physical material and I'm also got this immaterial side to me. So the question is, can I make a good argument for that? Rather than just saying, well, that's wrong. I mean, that's silly to think that way. Can I actually make a good argument for this position of dualism?